They are making a difference on 938 Live.
November is exactly 3 weeks away, which can only mean one thing. Many a whisker will be sprouting from many a man's face soon. The annual Movember campaign will see men grow mustaches in support of getting the community engaged in conversation about men's health and men taking action to remain well. I caught up with the head of Movember Asia, Greg Rafferty. Thank you so much for your time, Greg. Now, do you want to talk us through the theme of Made in Movember?
Yeah, so each year the Movember campaign takes on a different theme, and the idea for that is just to get guys thinking differently about their health. Now, this year is Made in Movember, and what we wanted to do was remind guys here in Singapore that every moustache that's grown and every dollar that's raised will be helping guys here in Singapore. So men who are suffering from prostate cancer will benefit from anyone who registers and signs up for the Movember campaign here in Singapore.
Movember has been in Singapore for the past 3 years. How do you think it's changed the face of men's health in Singapore?
I think the campaign is a work in process in terms of getting guys to understand the things that are affecting their health. So Movember's been running globally for 10 years, and we've seen changes in the countries where it's been running for that long. We have seen cultural changes taking place. I think Singapore, the longer that Movember continues and the more people we get to register and participate, the more conversations that will be had about men's health, and then that's when you'll begin to see those cultural changes where men will more easily engage with their health.
In what areas do you think we can improve?
In terms of men's health?
In terms of raising awareness for men's health through this campaign?
Yeah, I think one of the really important aspects that we always talk about at Movember is just really getting guys to, doing some research and understanding the health issues that affect them at whatever stage of life they're at. And then also just really encouraging conversations to take place. And often, particularly in a health respect, talking amongst your family, so talking to your father or your uncle or your brother about health issues that potentially run in the family. Often what happens is that fathers don't talk about the health issues they're experiencing, and then potentially 20 years later their son are facing the same issues that maybe could have been prevented if they had more knowledge of what those health issues were from a family perspective.
Do you think this is more of an issue here in Asia where, we're a little bit more conservative? We tend to not talk about these things openly?
I actually think it's a global issue. It's certainly, the campaign started in Australia, and that was on the back of this exact fact that guys weren't very good with engaging with their health. We've since moved into 20 different countries, and we've found in every country we've launched the same issue exists. Certainly from an Asia perspective, it seems quite common that men don't engage with their health, and men are more reserved in terms of having conversations with their friends or their families about health issues.
Movember is definitely a lot more established now, 10 years on. But back in the day, it could be seen as the ALS bucket challenge of its time. So do you think, Greg, causes these days need a, for lack of a better word, gimmick to hinge on to for the world to actually sit up and pay attention?
I think often it helps. I think to have giving people a different way to look at the issues that are trying to be raised. I think it does help to have something to grab your attention. With Movember, obviously, the moustache is our symbol and our flag. So the moustache has really resonated. It seems to have resonated with the community. So guys, secretly, whether they'll admit it or not, all wonder what they'll look like with a moustache, and are all keen to see their face change a little bit. So we've seen that guys have really enjoyed taking part in the campaign. So from that perspective, Movember has been quite a viral campaign. But on the other side of that, we've invested so much money into world-class programs that people are always keen to support the campaign again because they see the good work that's being achieved.
So fill us in, what kind of activities can we expect for Movember here in Singapore this year?
Well, hopefully there'll be lots of moustaches. Everywhere you walk down the streets of Singapore in November, there'll be guys growing moustaches. There'll be different themes in terms of styles of moustaches. But in terms of where the funds go, we support prostate cancer initiatives through our relationship with the Singapore Cancer Society. So it's really worth having a look at the Movember website, there's a detailed list of all the programs that we're funding here in Singapore and right around the world. So it's really makes for really interesting reading.
Greg Rafferty, the head of Movember Asia. So get your grooming kit out and start planning your own Movember activities for this year's Movember. You can find out more of what's happening in Singapore at sg.movember.com. This has been They Are Making a Difference. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Daphne Lim.
They are making a difference on 938 Live.